What is up guys, it's your boy Swole. I'm here, back with another Classic WoW video, and today we're talking about Classic Plus. Now at this point you probably heard a lot of people talk about Classic Plus and give you some ideas about what Classic Plus could be, and the thing is, at this point, almost everyone has their own idea of what Classic Plus actually should be, and some people think that Season of Discovery is Classic Plus, and everyone is like entitled to their opinion here, and I'm gonna come out with my opinion on talking about what I think Classic Plus should be like. And I'm gonna say that I think Classic Plus will happen, by the way. It is just such an obvious step for Blizzard to take, and to capitalize on the success of Classic WoW as a whole. Now, this video will be very straight to the point when it comes to what I want Classic Plus to be, and I'll try to just be I'll try to come with exact examples or exact statements of what I think should be present in Classic Plus. So here we go. This right here is a small list of things. Number 1 talking about the level cap, and number 2 talking about professions, and then new raids, new dungeons, new reputations, class balance and adjustments, and keeping the old world relevant. So first of all, the level cap in my opinion should be level 60. I think the second you introduce a new level cap, you would take away a lot of the whatever is relevant in the old level cap, right? If you level up to level 70 in Classic WoW, then suddenly all the gear from level 60 will probably be irrelevant, the dungeons will be irrelevant, and the thing about Classic Plus is keeping those things relevant, but still adding new content. At least that's how I look at it. So I think the level cap should be level 60, and then let's talk about professions. I've seen some people think about raising the professional cap to like 350, but once again, I want to refer back to keeping the current content and the current classic, what makes classic, keep that in there. So for me, professions should still be at 300, but gathering new materials should require 315, and I just want to mention that because I do want to see new zones, for example, in Classic Plus, and if those new zones comes with new materials, that would be great. So think about new skins. If you have skinning, you will have something after rugged leather, and if you have mining, you will have something after mithril or after thorium, and if you have herbalism, you will have something else than just black lotus, rob's blood, and mountain silver sage. But the new herb, the new mining vein, and the new skinning requires 315. Now for gathering professions as well, the skill cap will be 300, so you will have to get plus 15 from items. Now for skinning, we already have that in the game, like you can already get that right now, but I would love to see them add new ways of getting it, like for example new reputations, or just open world drops, new dungeons, just giving us some ways of getting the items, giving us up to plus 15. It can either be 3 different items giving you plus 5 each, or 1 plus 5 and 1 plus 10, or just straight up 1 with plus 15 on it, and therefore you would have to like go through this in-game grind kind of to be able to loot these new materials, meanwhile keeping the skill maximum the same and not really doing anything there, but still adding new content and new gatherables in those new zones. Could even like add some of them to the old zones as well, but definitely in the new zones. And then we have new raids. I think that's kind of a given here, having some new raids, either the Scarlet Cathedral that we're getting in Season of Discovery, we can get Karasan Crypt, or even the entirety of Karasan as a classic WoW raid, as I believe it was intentionally made to be. We can also have some sort of burning invasion raid, we can have the Uldum raid for example, or an Uldum dungeon, could even have the Uldum zone. We basically have the entrance to Uldum in classic WoW already, we have a quest to open Uldum, but nothing is actually in Uldum, and you never actually open the gates. So that could be another thing as well, right there. Just so much content just waiting to be opened and waiting to be dealt with. There's so much content that it was basically planned and then scrapped that they can now finish out this time around. And we also have new dungeons. I just mentioned one of them, could be Karasan Crypt. We can take a couple of examples from Season of Discovery here. They have 2 new dungeons right now as well in Season of Discovery, where, just to show you on the map where they are at the moment, like if you haven't played SOD, we have 1 dungeon in Fellwood, like over here, like we have 1 dungeon in Fellwood, and we have 1 in Ashenvale, down here in the Charred Vale. They turned that into a dungeon, so using pieces of the map that has a dungeon-ish layout, you can actually make a dungeon. Even going over to something like Ashenvale, or not Ashenvale, but Eastern Plaguelands, or Western Plaguelands, you can make dungeons out of Tyr's Hand, for example, and even, for example, over here as well, Hearthglen. What if you had a dungeon, or a raid, or a mega dungeon called the Battle of Hearthglen, or something like that, where you start at the start and you have bosses to kill throughout Hearthglen? That could be kind of cool as well, like an instant version of Hearthglen. Just small pieces of content like that. Going back to the list of content, we also have new reputations, and here they can use this to flesh out the lore of Vanilla WoW and introduce some new lore as well, giving us one or two new factions to work towards that can either give you, I don't know, it probably shouldn't be a mount, I'm not sure, but giving you some sort of reward, right? Crafting recipes could be a reward, getting some gear could be a reward, even could be an attunement to one of the new raids, for example, could be mixed in with these reputations as well, like the Hydraction Waterlord reputation is attached to the Molten Core attunement, or the Dowsing in Molten Core, so tying these achievements or these reputations into the opening of the raid in some way, shape or form could make a lot of sense. Then we have class balance and adjustments. Here I don't want to see anything super major, but for example giving paladins a taunt would be great. Making ret paladins slightly more playable would be great as well if you ask me. Like, give us their TBC version of Ret Paladins, and Shadow Priests, making them more viable in PvE, meanwhile not making them that much better in PvP, and the same thing for Boomkins, right? Make them viable in PvE, but don't make them overpowered in PvP. Basically for Classic Plus, I just don't want to see us repeat having 25 out of 40 players in a raid being a warrior. I would like to see some diversity here, and not just the option of being able to diversify, because we already have that in Classic WoW, but that's the illusion of choice. A lot of people just end up stacking warriors because that's simply better, right? And I would love to see more classes being not just playable, but competable when it comes to not the top DPS, or just being viable and being chosen for raids and not just stacking warriors. That would be my dream here for Classic Plus, and if I see a Classic Plus where the only thing you can play to like be good is a warrior, that is not a Classic Plus I personally want to play. I want other classes to be good as well, and not just stacking warriors. Now this next point is keep the old world relevant, and I've kind of touched on how to do that already, like for example keeping the level cap level 60, make sure that the old level 60 content is still relevant, the old professions are still relevant, well the old reputations I mean are still relevant, BRD is relevant, gearing up the old way for level 60s is still a thing. You will just have more options, and professions being 300 is also keeping the old world relevant, and I kind of want to touch on how you can use new items and also keep the old world relevant, and how I think professions should work in that case. So for this we have a couple of examples, and for that one we can bring up, for example, this one right here, the Lionheart Helm. So in my world here, what I'm thinking in Classic Plus is that we currently have the Lionheart Helm, and I would love to see that maybe we're able to make something called an improved Lionheart Helm, or the perfect Lionheart Helm. Just add whatever name you want to have in front, and then it's an improved version of Lionheart Helm. And to make that, you use the Lionheart Helm as a base reagent in that craft, but then you can also use the new materials from, for example, mining, the new mining material that requires 315 to grab, the rank after thorium, right? You can use that and some more materials to upgrade your Lionheart Helm. That keeps the old world relevant and the old materials relevant, because you still need to have the Lionheart Helm crafted, and then you can use the new materials to make it even better, and that way the Lionheart Helm would be great in, for example, Classic WoW Phase 7, or whatever phase comes after Nax, right? And you can then use the Lionheart Helm in a later phase of Classic, and it will be better than the current version we have. Let's just say the better version was like, what, the same crit percent, the same hit percent, but doubles the strength, so you have 36 strength, or something like that, right? And we also have this one right here, I believe that's the right one, yeah, Devil Sword leggings, where you can make Devil Sword leggings and you have either the improved Devil Sword leggings or you have the perfect Devil Sword leggings, where to craft that you have leatherworking, you use Devil Sword leggings as the base material, and you use the new skin from Classic Plus, which requires 315 skinning to skin. You can use that to upgrade the Devil Sword leggings, and maybe we have both common and uncommon new leather as well, so you need to use both. That way you have a leather or a skinning version of Black Lotus, for example, where you either skin a really rare or elite creature, where it has a 1% chance to drop every time you skin a high level elite, as an example. And then you use that to upgrade the Devil Sword leggings, and that way the Devil Sword leggings are still relevant because you need those in the craft, and the materials used to make Devil Sword leggings are also still relevant because they are used in the craft. I kind of feel like this crafting system and adding new materials like this and then using the old crafted item as a reagent in a new craft, it goes line in line with the spirit of what I want Classic Plus to be, and what I hear a lot of people online as well, where they want to see some new content, but it shouldn't overshadow the old content, and the old content, like keeping the old world relevant, and the old content relevant while adding new content. And for crafting specifically, if we only add new content and no new crafts, well, professions get out of date really fast, and to keep professions up to date, we have to add something there as well, and I feel like this is the best way. But yeah, that's a little bit about what I want to see in Classic Plus, so let me know what you want to see in Classic Plus in the comments down below. And if you're playing on the Fresh Classic WoW servers like me, just using this as a Classic Plus waiting room, and yeah, if you're playing on the Classic Fresh servers and you want to make some gold on the Fresh Classic WoW servers, then check out my gold making guide through the link down below if you haven't yet, where I talk about all different ways of making gold. We have gold farms to do while leveling at max level, whether you're a hunter, you're a mage, you're a warrior, a bunch of different gold farms that pretty much anyone can do, and also you can make a bunch of gold even without killing things. You can just be a fisherman and fish for gold and make a really decent amount of gold. And we also talk about what to do with that gold to make more gold as well, through investments for example, and different gold making strategies. So if you want to make more gold on the Fresh servers, then check that out, the link will be in the pinned comment, and if you do buy the guide, thank you so much. Either way, that's the video for today, so thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.